Good feelings gone.
Finding Nemo is an animation film where the main character, Nemo, goes on a school trip where he gets taken by scuba divers, and so his father, Marlin, and a friend of his, Dory, go to save him.
My name is
This
Bella,
movie
and this
is
is
about
how I
a
met
girl that gets lost and passes through a lot of things in her life, and 2 years later gets to meet her family.
I texted. She said she'd be down in just a minute.
Oh, great. Tell her.
Modern Family, it is a funniest American television series that the series tells about the life of a family that is different. The story is about a blind ex-military that finds a girl on the street and takes her home. It's a horror movie.
Oh,
Actually, sir, I'm a puppy.
that's even worse.
You're in shock, so I'm not going to take that personally.
The film is the Paw Patrol. The animation is great, the soundtrack is amazing, and the dogs are super.
It's an animation film. The Paw Patrol is faced to a big problem to prevent the new city of the Major to cause.
The film of Titanic is a romantic drama film about one man called Jack and one woman called Rose that goes in a transatlantic from England to the United States, and they fall in love.
It's a thriller single storyline series with some horror elements. It tells us a story about a boy who went to a Soviet summer camp with vampires. I really liked the cast, and the atmosphere was almost always a bit tense because of many twists.
Police in the northern suburbs are on the lookout for a pair of burglars who are calling themselves the...
Home Alone is a film of comedy. The boy was home alone in Christmas. The Kevin is the main character, and
Just remember, look at the purge test. We'll be fine, just like always. No worries, okay?
The Purge is horror film. It's about a city that one day can do any crime at night.
But the war we thought we finished is just beginning.
Pacific Rim is an action film of robots called Jaegers that have to save the world of monsters that came from other dimensions that want the end of the humanity. The special effects and the soundtrack are amazing.
Enchanted Forest?
Yes, it was a magical place.
Frozen 2 is an animation film and it's very moving. I like the character development and the plot is amazing.
To my people is all I know.
Dune is a fantasy film based on a novel. The plot of the movie is that Juno Arrakis is now the most important planet of the universe, and there's a big fight to get the power.
Think about it,
Mulan is a Disney animation feminist movie. It's interesting, moving, spectacular, and a funny film, and it's an example of how women can do.
Head to mustard, pickles, and top bun together in that order!
SpongeBob is an animation comedy film which is the best friends Patricio. They have many adventures making boats.
That's for the kids, Mum.
I prefer you driving one of those than pulling cupcakes in my car.
This film is Go-Karts. It is an action film, and this is my favorite film because it's very interesting and expresses humility among the pilots.
And a lot of enemies.
This action film, the main character is Anna Ramanov, that her dark past and a new enemy linked to her present.
Red versus blue, good versus evil.
The first scene is about Joe Philip
composed of 3 films that tell us about Sunnyside, that is a town where they have several murders since 1666.
I'm going to talk about a Japanese series called Sword Art Online. It's a set of 2 seasons and 4 OVA that it's a kind of Japanese film. Its plot starts in 2014 about a boy that starts to play a new game called SAO.
What if she starts sleep swimming again?
I'm sure this was a one-time thing. So
It's an amazing film. Many characters is a Dory, is a blue fish with no memory and lives in a new.
In the summer is to have a good time all the time.
It's an action series about some friends find a lot of money.
Nothing is bad.
It's a thriller about some friends that are like little riches and have to resolve some crimes on that field.